What did you see in that MPS that surprised you?
I think it's a little bit more dovish than certainly markets expected, and probably myself as well. They are pointing us towards starting tightening at the end of the year, but I think it's still a bit non-committal. If we look at the forecasts, if there's a tightening in December, then there's not necessarily a one following it up shortly afterwards. So, generally, I think they're saying they're cautiously optimistic, but they haven't really uplifted their growth forecasts very much to kind of think that they need to get in any sort of hurry.
Is it accommodative?
Oh, yeah, I would agree. And I think the Reserve Bank agrees with that as well. If I look at their longer term forecasts, they're still thinking that the kind of neutral OCR is in that kind of 3 to 3.5% range. So it's pretty clear that things are accommodative. But it just seems to me that when they're looking at the totality of what they know now, that they're actually pretty relaxed about keeping it accommodative for at least another 6 or 9 months.
You saw a much higher neutral rate and perhaps getting there a little bit sooner, am I right? What has this changed your view at all today?
Oh, on the neutral rate, not very much. No, that hasn't changed anything at all. Kind of, it didn't really expect that the Reserve Bank would shift their neutral rate. I think it is fair to say that I thought they might have upgraded their short-term growth forecast by a bit more than they have. Because I think the data more recently has been a bit better. Reserve Bank seems to be taking a pretty cautious view there, and you can see it in their projections of the unemployment rate, which are a bit higher than ours. But, it's a long way off before you have to really make conclusions on these judgments.
Was this perhaps with an eye to the reaction to the result of the previous decision back in November that they were so conscious of those forward rates, do you think? Or have they just made the call that they see they needed to make?
You could potentially say that. I mean, there are a few areas here where they have chosen to take a dovish interpretation of things, whereas they could have actually gone the other way. Another area is in the growth situation, which I think has looked quite a lot better in the last few months, but they're still sounding quite cautious. I think that they probably don't want to scare the horses. That was what I expected they wouldn't want to do anyway. So they're really going out of their way, I think, to kind of just give markets a sense that they just need to wait a little bit and see what happens. The only thing I'll point you to there as well is a bit negative on housing. So that's something else that kind of like helps them be a little bit more dovish for the time being, because they don't have that pressure of house prices kind of potentially racing away on them.